What up guys, Alex is here, GuitarForce.com. This is a lesson on how to play Leper Messiah from Metallica, and this was requested and supported by Brad, so big thanks goes out to him. This lesson is going to be on the rhythm guitar parts only. The solo lesson I might do in the near future, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. The tabs and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com, and for the sound I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset in just a moment. The tuning for this lesson, for this song, is going to be standard, and while you are checking out the picture of the preset, here is my low E so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's go for a close-up and start this lesson. Alright, so we're going to start off with the intro and we're going to break it up into parts. The first part goes like this. Okay, so here we're going to be using double stops. The first one is on the A and the D strings, 3rd fret. Then we move it down to the 2nd fret, same strings. And then the third double stop is going to be on the low E and the A strings, 3rd fret. The first two double stops are palm muted, and the third one is you let it ring out, like that. So this is going to be our element, the first element. We play it twice, and then the chord at the end is going to be the A power chord. Then the second part is going to be like this. So again we have these first elements, 3rd fret to the 2nd on the A and the D strings, then 3rd fret on the low E and A. Then we play again the first two double stops, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then we go right into the chord which is the G power chord. So we have this. Okay, now on this chord we're going to stay for 5 beats, alright, so count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we go into the third part, which is, so again we have this first element on the A and the D strings, 3rd fret to the 2nd, low E and A strings, 3rd fret. We play it again once, the whole element, then second time we play just the first two double stops, and then we play two chords here, going to be G to F. Power chord. So again, one more time. Okay, so that's the third part, and then the last part with the transition is going to be like this. So again we have the first elements on A and D strings, 3rd fret to the 2nd, then we go to the low E and A 3rd frets. Then again we repeat the first two double stops, 3rd fret to the 2nd. Then we play the A power chord here, and then we go into the transition, which is 3rd fret, 2nd open, this time all plays on the A and the D strings, and all of these are going to be palm muted. Then we have 3rd fret on the low E and A string. Then we return to the A and D strings, 2nd fret to the open, and then we have, which is the triplet, which is played on the low E string, 3, 2, 1, and actually you can add the A string for for a little bit heavier sound. It's not necessary, but you can add it as well, like that. So this last element, this last part is going to be like this one more time. Okay, so these are the 4 elements of the intro. I'm going to play them one more time, back to back, slower, so it's going to go like this. Okay, so after that we go into riff number 1, and it goes like this. Okay, so here we're going to be alternating between the E power chord and the F sharp power chord. And also we're going to be using the 3rd fret on the A string. And then occasionally we're going to go to the G power chord as well. So let's break it up into parts. The first part. So it starts off with the E power chord, then we go to the F sharp, then we pick it one more time, then 3rd fret on the A, back to the F sharp power chord, then we have a little rest, then we pick the chord again, and then we do this slide from the F sharp to G back to F sharp. Now there are a couple of ways how you can play it. The first one is just like I said, with the slide, so you let the chords ring out. Or you can pick each of the chords and palm mute them as well. Like that. And the last one, you let it ring out. So they play this part both ways, so whichever you like, you use that. Or use both. Alright, so that's the first part. Then the second part. So again, starts off with the E power chord, then we go to the F sharp, open low E, and then you can either play 2nd fret on the low E, just that single note, or you can play the F sharp chord, or like that. Then again, 3rd fret on the A, back to the F sharp power chord again. Again, we have a little rest here. Then we pick the F sharp power chord again, and then we have slide from F sharp to G, and then after that we play 2 low E's open. Okay, so it's a little bit harder to explain, but you'll see it in the tabs, and the best way is just to listen to the riff. I'm going to play it one more time slow so you can see what's going on. So it goes like this. Alright, so after we've played riff number 1 2 times, then we let the E power chord ring out, and we let it ring out for 4 bars, and then after that we go into this part. Okay, so it's just heavily palm muted low E power chord. We played for 3 times with the rest in between. Then there is a little bit longer rest, and then we repeat it one more time. So altogether we play this figure for 3 times, and then the 4th time we play it twice. And then we have this part, this transition, which is again the first element of the intro riff, which is on the A and the D strings, 3rd fret to the 2nd. Then 3rd frets on the low E and A strings. Then again, back to A and D strings, 3rd fret to the 2nd, the A power chord, and then a little stop here with this double stop, which is 3rd fret on the A and 2nd fret on the D strings. Like that, okay? So that's the main part of the intro. Alright, so after that we go into the next riff, which is being played before the verses, and it goes like this. So here we start off with a quick slide from the 3rd fret on the A and the D strings to the 2nd. And then we alternate that with the low E string open 2 times. So we play it for 3 times. And then 3rd time, instead of playing 2 low E's, 2 8th notes, we play an 8th note and 2 16th notes, alright? So it's like that. Then we have which is sliding from the 3rd fret on the A and D strings to the 2nd fret, and then from 3rd up to the 5th. And then we play again the first part of the riff, which is we play it for 2 times, and then we have the transition, which is the first element of the intro, 3rd fret to the 2nd, A and D strings, 3rd fret on the low E and A, then again 3rd frets to the 2nd on A and D, and then the A power chord. So all together again, one more time, the whole riff slowly is going to go like this. Alright, so after that we go into the verses, and the riff that we play is very similar to what we just did previously, slightly different. It goes like this. Okay, so the first part is exactly the same what we did, so with the slides from the 3rd fret to the 2nd on the A and the D strings, alternating with the low E string open, palm muted, and again we have 2 times of these, and then 3rd time again slide, and then we have the 8th notes with 2 16th notes. Then again we have the slide, which is from the 3rd fret to the 2nd, then from the 3rd up to the 5th. And now here we're going to be changing to the F sharp based riff. So we have slides. Now it's going to be from the 5th fret to the 4th on the A and the D strings, and we're going to be alternating that with the 2nd fret on the low E string. Again, same idea, same rhythmical pattern. And then last time after we play that slide, we play from the F sharp to the G, just like a power chord, like that. So all together, slowly, the whole riff is going to go like this. Alright, so we play this riff for 4 times, and then we go into the next one, which goes like this. So here we're just playing 4 power chords. The first one, the E power chord. Then we go to the E flat, to D, to D flat or C sharp. So chromatically 6, 5, 4 on the A string with 5th as well. And we play it 2 times. Like that. Next riff is going to go like this. Okay, so here we have this power chord, which is kind of, you know, obituary, using this chord quite a lot. So we have on the, it's like the power chord, in this case it's an F, but we have also the 5th and the bass. Okay, so the low E and the A strings are on the same fret, and then you can add the octave here as well. So the first chord is on the 8th fret of the low E and the A string, and then we add the 10th fret on the D string, and we're going to be using this shape throughout the entire this entire riff. So we have again a similar idea with the quick slide just one fret down, so from the 8th down to the 7th, and then we're going to be alternating that with the low E string open. The first few times is just straight 8th notes, so we have these, and then we start from here, from the 7th fret down to the 6th, so we go down chromatically. Down to the 4th fret, okay? So we play this riff 2 times. And then we're going to be adding a variation to the low E string. So the first run, we're going to be playing, so it's an 8th note and then followed by 2 16th notes in between the chords. So we have this. Okay, then 4th time when we play this riff, we're going to be playing 16th notes on the low E string, so it's going to be like this. Okay, so 16th notes on the low E palm muses. And then in the end of this riff we have, so it's going to be the G sharp or A flat down to the G chord, and then followed by 16th notes on the 3rd fret, palm muted. Like that, alright? So one more time, the whole riff, all of the parts together, I'm going to go like this. Alright, so after that riff we go back to riff number 1, and we play it once exactly the same, so we have these. Then we play second time the first part, also exactly the same as in the beginning. Up until that slide from the F sharp to G, then go back to the F sharp, and then we have this transition. So just like we did in the beginning, where we have the first element, 3rd fret A and D strings to the 2nd, low E string, 3rd fret and A also. Then we have 3-2 on A and D, and then the A power chord. And then we have 3-2 open, A and D strings, 3rd fret on the low E and A string, then going back to A and D, 2, 2nd fret to the open, and then we have the triplet. Again, you can use the A and low E string, or just the low E string. And then after that we go into the riff which we played during the verses. So it's exactly the same with all of the riffs that we've looked at previously. So structure-wise, it's exactly the same. So after we've finished playing verse number 2, then we have a break, and before the break, when we play riff number 1 second time, which is... So we have this triplet we played for 3 times, right? And we played without stopping. So we played the triplet to the E power chord, then again the triplet, power chord, then again the triplet to the power chord. And then we'll go into the first break. Alright, so during the first break we have 2 guitars playing separate parts. The first one, the rhythm guitar, is just playing some power chords. So it starts off with the E, let it ring out. This one goes for two bars. Then we'll go to F for 1 bar. Then we have G to A, each for half a bar. Then we go back to the E again for 2 bars. Then we go to D for 1 bar, and then we have A to B, both for half bars. Then after that we repeat again the same chords, but the rhythm slightly changes. So the first time, the first bar of the E power chord, we let it ring out, then we hit it twice, so it goes like this. So you hit it twice and then you mute it, stop, there is a rest, and then the rest is the same, the F to G to A, and then second time the same. So you let it ring out, then you hit it twice, then you go to D, to A, to B. Alright? So that's the rhythm guitar part. The lead guitar is playing a melody which goes like this. Alright, so we have this same element which is repeating throughout the entire part. So it starts off with the 7th fret on the A string, then we go to 9 on D, and then we have 10, 9, 7 on A, and it's also palm muted, and then the last note you add some vibrato. So then we play second time, again, same thing. Third time we play. So now we go, instead of 7th fret, the last note is going to be on the 8th fret of the A string. And then we have, which is, I played on the A string 12 to 10. Then we have 9 on D. 12 on A again, then 10 on D, 12 on A again, and then 9 to 10 on D. So we have this. Sorry. If I played without palm mute, so like that. So when you put these elements together the first time, alright, so that's the first part. The second part, so essentially it's exactly the same the first 2 times, and then the third time, instead of playing this part, we play, which is 7 on A, and then on the D string we pick 9th fret 2 times, and then 8, 7. And then the ending again, just like we did in the first part. Then we repeat the riff again one more time, exactly the same thing, up until to this part. After that, the second time, instead of playing, we just play that rhythm on the A to B chords. So one more time, the whole thing, this lead guitar, slowly is going to go like this. Right, so after this part, both guitars are playing the same riff, which goes like this. So again, we follow the rhythm guitar from the previous riff, but now instead of playing the chords and let them ring out, we're going to be playing on the low E string the 16th notes. And then in the end of each figure, we let the power chord ring out. So we have, and then we follow the structure. So we go to the F and we play exactly the same figure, right, 2 times here. Then we go to the G and to the A, playing each of these once. Then we return to the E power chord again, same figure, same rhythmical figure. So for 4 times, then we go to D, and then we have, here is slightly different rhythmical pattern here when we go to A, like that. So A to B, and then we return to the beginning of the riff again, playing exactly the same thing. Alright, so after that we go into the solo, and I'm not going to break down the solo in this lesson, but the rhythm guitar essentially is playing exactly the same chord progression. So E, F, G, A, E, D, A, B, but it's playing it in gallop figure. So we have, and when we play the A chord to the B, we play this, again, same rhythmical figure as from the previous riffs. But yeah, like I said, we play everything on the low E string, open, 1st, 3rd, 5th fret, then back again to the low E open, then 5th fret on the A string, which is the D note, and then A to B, and we play this figure for 2 times. Alright, so after the solo we go back to the part that we played before the solo, which is kind of break number 1, and the lead guitar is playing essentially the same patterns but slightly different, and I'm going to show them to you in just a moment. But the rhythm guitar is playing exactly the same chord progression, so E to F to G to A, E, D, A to B. First time through you play it with the chords just ringing out, letting them ring out, and the second time you include the 16th note, so it's going to go like this. Alright, so that's the part for the rhythm guitar. The lead guitar is playing this. Alright, so essentially, like I said, it's exactly the same as we did in the beginning, but we add some extra notes here. So again, 7 on A, then we have 9 on D, and then we play 10, 9, 7 on A, and then we repeat again, 10, 9, 7. Alright, so we have this. So that's the whole element. Then we play it one more time, and then the third time we have, so it's 7 on A, 9 on D, then we play 10, 9, 8 on the A string, and then we play 12, 10, 8, 12, 10, 8 on the A again. And then we add the same ending as we did in the beginning. Alright? So one more time, the whole thing from the beginning slowly is going to go like this. Then we do the same again from the beginning. So here, the third time, instead of playing, we do the same thing, and then we add again 9, 8, 7. Alright, so it's gonna go, and then we include these 2 chords, the A to B. So one more time, the whole thing, this lead guitar, slowly gonna go like this. Alright, so after this part we go into the next one and it goes like this. So here we have again the gallop figure going on, and we start off with the 5th fret on the low E. Then we have a quick note here on the 7th fret on the low E. Then we go to the 3rd, to the 2nd, to the 1st one. And then we go into the next riff. So one more time, the whole thing. Next riff goes like this. So we played this riff before during the verses, with the only difference here that between these two parts we have this part, which is the low E string, 16th notes, palm muted, alternating with the E power chord for 4 times, and then again we play for 2 times. Then the next part is gonna go like this. So here we are transitioning to the G power chord, and again same idea. Like we did previously, so palm muted, 3rd fret on the low E, 16th notes, alternating with the G power chord. Like that. And then we go into the next riff, which goes like this. So here we're going to be alternating some power chords with the rhythmical figure on the low E string, open, palm muted. So we start off with the E power chord on the 7th position. Sorry. And this is the rhythmical figure on the low E string. So we have. Then we go down chromatically, so to the 6th fret, to the E flat. Again alternating with the low E, then the D chord, to the C sharp, and then we repeat again from the E. Alright, so then we take this approach to the G power chord and we play same figure. So we play it for 4 times, and then we have just hitting the G power chord for 5 times, and the 5th time we use the tremolo bar to dive bomb. All right. Then we have the drum break, and then we have the transition, which is. So it's again the same thing as we did previously on the A and the D strings. 3rd fret to the 2nd to the open, palm muted, low E and A 3rd fret, back to A and D, 2nd to the open, and then we have the triplet. Again, 3, 2, 1 on the low E string. You can include the A as well. And then we go back to the beginning, playing the first riff, which is. So essentially it's exactly the same as we did previously. So the first time through you played exactly the same as we did in the beginning. The second time you play the first part up until that slide, and then we have. So that transition, we've covered that before. So after you played the last E chord, E power chord, there is a stop, and then we have. So after the stop we have the F power chord, then a triplet on the low E, palm muted, and you finish it off with the low E power chord. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope you found it useful and you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, leave your comment down below. Share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar related stuff. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.